This is Kristen, and today I'm here with Matt from Blacktop Mojo. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. It's really good to have you. I wanted to talk to you about everything that's been going on lately with Blacktop Mojo, what you guys have been working on.
We've actually been working on a new album for the last, I think, since probably about October, since we got off the road, and just been writing and recording. But we're almost done, so light at the end of the tunnel.
Awesome. So, do we have a timeline when we maybe expect that'll be released?
We are looking at releasing this this summer, and we're going, but no hard date yet.
Any kind of sneak previews you can kind of give fans on what to expect from this album?
Um, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of it sounds like us, but it's a little bit of a progression. It's a little bit there's some different stuff on there. Um there's some heavy stuff on there like on the second album and the first album, and there's also like some more bluesy type of stuff too. And we're pretty excited about that.
Most definitely. I definitely think fans will dig that. First time that I heard you guys, and probably this is true for a lot of people, was when you did the cover of Dream On. Kind of talk to me about that and talk to me about how your music career has kind of changed since you released that.
um we ended up doing that just purely out of kind of fun. We were writing our second album at the time, and just kind of putting out cover videos in the meantime of you know um, while we are working on the new music, and that was one of the songs that we did, basically just for fun. Never really thought we were gonna actually put it out on anything, but we ended up putting it out on YouTube, and about a year after we put it out, we were getting ready to we were putting the songs together for our second album, and right around that time, it surpassed like a million views or something like that, kind of all of a sudden, and just started really kind of taking off. And it's been it's been a huge blessing for us, for sure. Like a lot of people have said that they found us through that cover, and then they go check out our original stuff too. So that's pretty awesome.
Definitely, I can say that's definitely how I discovered you guys, and I was like, oh my god, this guy can really sing. Freaking phenomenal. And then I started checking out the rest of your music, and I know 2017 you released Burn the Ship. So talk to me kind of about that album and what some of your favorite songs are from it.
Burn the Ships. I think one of my favorite songs to play live is off of that one is Pyromaniac. It's just a fun song to jam out to with all the guys, and I think that's probably my favorite. I kind of go back and forth between a couple of them, but right now that's for sure the one.
What inspired you to write that song specifically?
Uh, my I was dating a girl at the time, and I, we're all kind of starting this band and getting it going, and just it's kind of about um, realizing that you're kind of like bad for somebody. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's about that. Yeah.
I think it definitely does. I think it's a song that a lot of people can relate to. So talk to me. You said you were forming the band at that time. Tell me how the band came together and where you guys got your start.
We started actually in at the very end of 2012. I was working in a coffee shop in town here after I graduated from college, and I ran into our drummer Nathan, and we kind of would run into each other now and then, and people would be like, this guy can play drums, and they, tell him, hey, this guy sings or whatever. You guys should start a band. Well, I was kind of brushed it off or whatever, and we ended up running into each other at a country concert one night. Actually, we were both really inebriated, and I was like, hey man, I'm playing at the coffee shop tomorrow. You should come out, check it out. And luckily he was drunk enough to agree and sober enough to remember to come the next day. But he ended up coming out and checking out a little set or whatever I was doing, and invited me over to his house. And he had the drum kit set up in his living room, and he was like, well, let me see what I can do. And he went off on these drums, and I mean, he's a phenomenal drummer, and I was blown away. And we just sat there on his balcony and basically swigging whiskey and like, all right, well, let's do this thing.
And it just kind of took off from there.
Yeah.
So now, tell me, when did you first realize that you could sing? Have you always been singing, like, as a child growing up?
I didn't sing in front of anybody. I was in actually the 5th grade school play, and that was The Lion and the Wizard of Oz, and that's the only time during growing up that I ever sang in front of anybody. And then kind of like got into sports and stuff after that, and left that alone. And but I always had like a guitar sitting in the corner of my room, and I think when I was about 16 or 17, I started teaching myself how to play chords and stuff, and just I'd sit out in the garage at my parents' house for hours and hours, just teach myself different songs and kind of sing or whatever. And I was dating a girl in Palestine at the time. I grew up in a town about 20 minutes from Palestine, and so I would call her on the phone every night, kind of. And I started singing to her over the phone. She's like, "Man, you're really good," and that's just kind of how I started.
And so, like, artist-wise, who was an influence on you musically?
I grew up listening to a lot of Van Halen, and like my mom raised me on all kinds of hair bands, and like all the great classic rock too. I mean, like Led Zeppelin and AC/DC, and I mean bands like that. And so I think those are all kind of stuck in my head from when I was a kid,
Right, most definitely. Now, you guys have been touring with a lot of major bands. You've been really picking up some success. What advice would you give to new bands starting out?
Don't quit. Work every day, and just practice your ass off and get out there.
That's definitely honest and true advice. So tell me what else is coming up for you guys. I know you said you have the album released in the summer. What else can we expect for the rest of the year?
We'll be at Rock USA in Oshkosh in July, and then hopefully soon. We don't have any hard dates for like tours or anything like that, but we'll be back hitting the bricks and running around pretty soon. So.
And where can fans check out and find out about those tour dates and different things that you have coming up?
We'll post them all on our website, blacktopmojo.com, and the ticket links and all that kind of stuff. But.
So how does that feel coming from sort of this humble or like small town beginnings, and now you're playing on like major festivals?
It's pretty cool. it's a lot of fun. We get to never have to work a day in our life, basically. You know, I mean, we get to do what we love. So,
Does it feel like it was a pretty fast evolution to getting to that point?
um, I mean, I think looking back on it, I think time flies. But you know, as you're doing it, it feels like a long time. But it's not. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah, I think it
Yeah.
does. Um, any insights that you've kind of gained along the way from the whole ride that you've been on the last 2 years?
Um, find something you love to do, and hopefully it'll pay the rent. That's,
Most definitely. Well, we definitely love you guys' music. Yeah, big supporters here at the Blast. Is there anything else that I
thank you.
haven't asked you? Anything else that you'd like to share with fans or listeners out there today?
Um, definitely be on the lookout for our new album. It's called Under the Sun, and it'll be out hopefully sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. We'll be definitely excited to get our hands on that
Yeah,
and get that in rotation. And I thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
absolutely. Thank you for the interview.
Absolutely. Well, you have a wonderful afternoon.
You too.